Yeah, we like to interview influential women in the sport of archery.
We're obviously very laid back.
And if there's something completely inappropriate that happens, just tell Julie, edit that out. Basically, it's a bunch of girls talking about archery.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Bow Divas. We're here with Annalisa.
Hi.
And Julie.
Hello.
And some pets.
Crazy pets.
Crazy pets.
They're like spazzing out.
And, yeah, sorry, guys, we were gone for a little bit for the holidays, but we're going to come back to a couple episodes, and I don't know what the schedule is going to be like for December. It gets kind of crazy this time of year.
Yeah, it does.
But we are going to be speaking with someone tonight, and Julie has a little bit of information, and we'll get started. So thanks for listening, everybody.
Tonight, I'm real excited to have Megan Freeman on the show with us. Megan is from South Carolina. She shoots elite for the outdoor group, and she has shot her way through the ranks in the ASA classes. She has finished in the top 3 a few times for Shooter of the Year. She has had several podium finishes over the years and has actually shot her way out of the amateur classes, and Miss Megan will be shooting pro in 2017. Megan, how are you?
Good, doing well. How are you guys?
Good.
Great.
We are good. Thanks for being on the show.
Oh yeah, I mean it's an honor. I love to spread the word, and I love telling my story. You know, sometimes I hope it, reaches somebody out there that may be older that, thinks, I'm just too old to get into it, or, I should have started younger, but, maybe they'll think twice.
So you sound like you're making yourself sound older?
Well, I mean, when somebody starts, usually, like, you think of, I think of my son. I'm like, he's got to get started young. He's got to get started now.
Right.
But, I mean, with archery, that's one of the beauties. Like, I mean, when you play, baseball, football, any kind of other sport, you want to start young. Usually, that's the only opportunity you have. But with archery, it's totally different. You can start at any age.
You sure can.
Mm-hmm. So when did you start shooting? When did you first pick up a bow? Tell us a little bit about your background there.
Yeah, this is kind of my story. I was 7 months pregnant with my son, Blake, and it was Christmas. We actually got my stepson a little bow and like one of those like foam targets from Bass Pro. And he was out there shooting it, and of course, me and my big old belly, I'm walking out there, and I'm like, I want to try this. This looks awesome. And I'm serious. I sat out there for, that first arrow, I was like, oh, it's over. This is it.
Yeah.
This is just something that I knew it. I knew it was something I wanted to do. And that was pretty much it. Josh went and got me I think it was a Parker at a local shop that was on sale. It had the full setup.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started shooting. So that was in 2008. But I really didn't get competitive until 2011 because Blake, he was a newborn. I was still in school.
Right.
So that was kind of the last thing that I had to, I didn't have the time. So, but I got serious in 2011. We went to our first ASA. It was when it was in Augusta.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty much it. And I broke my ankle in 2013. So that was the year I wanted to go. I wanted to win out that year in Open A because I was like, I want to go pro by the time I'm 30.
Mm-hmm.
But I broke my ankle very, very seriously, and I was out that whole season. Oh, well, not the whole season. We're lifetime members, so I actually went to the Classic and shot B, but I knew I wanted to go to A because I knew I wanted to judge, and I won out of K40, Julie, yes. And I remember shooting with you all the time. So, but I won out of K40. I knew I wanted to judge, and I was like, you know what? I can't waste another year. Not that Open B is a waste. I don't mean it like that. It's just for me personally, my drive was I knew I wanted to go pro.
Yeah.
And pro is all judging. It's all, there's no known, there's no nothing. So I mean, why take a year in known yardage, when you know that's your ultimate goal? That's kind of how I look at it.
Right. Now, what class did you start in?
K40.
You started in K40.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you moved into Open.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh yeah, no, I was in K40 for I think 2 or 3 years, and then I won out, and then that was when I was like, that was the year after I won out was the year I broke my ankle, and I was going to go ahead and move to A that year anyway. So I spent 2 years in A. I spent my first year in Open A. I think I finished shooter of the year. I finished like 6th or 5th, and then last year, of course, was it. That was it. I was determined.
Yeah. For those of us who were following you and keeping tabs, it was evident that you were determined. It's like you flipped the switch and you just took off.
Yeah, I mean that you were like, I kind of started to tear up a little bit when you were going through like listing all the stuff because I'm so hard on myself and I forget. I forget that I have accomplished a lot. I still have so much that I want to do in archery and the 3D. Well, indoors not my thing, but I hate a Vegas target. Yeah,
if anybody is friends with Megan on Facebook, it's pretty evident she hates indoors.
I do. I'm not ashamed of it. It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
But it's 3D is where I'm competitive. It's where I know that's my game. That's the moneymaker for me.
Right.
So and down the road, once I think because it's just like I said, you got a lot to do. I have a lot that I want to do, and it's just I don't know. It's just down the road, maybe I could get my my mind right with indoor. Yeah.
Good luck.
I was gonna say,
if you figure that out, tell the rest of us.
That requires alcohol, possibly. I don't know.
And medication.
Just have a couple shots ready.
There you go.
So, but that's kind of the beauty of archery, though. You never accomplish what you think you're gonna. You know what I mean? It's like you can. Like every time you set a goal or reach it, there's always more you can do. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? There's so many different games. There's indoor, there's field, there's 3D. There's so many different venues you could choose to shoot in.
There's hunting all over the world.
Yeah. So to me, it's like one of those endless. Like, I hate to say it, like make it sound like you can never reach your goal, but you could shoot archery your whole life and do really, really well and still never.
It's like trying to reach the
every
end of the internet.
Yeah.
There you go.
You can always look up something else.
When I was setting my goals for the beginning of the season, I was a little more broad in what I wrote down. I didn't say, I wanted to be first. Mm-hmm. In these tournaments, I just said I wanted to finish top 3 in 5 ASAs, and I would just say, I wanted to be on the podium for shooter of the year. So that way, I had a window. It was a success that I was on the podium, 3rd place. For me for the year. I think another goal was not to finish lower than 5th place, and I didn't meet that goal, but it was only by one tournament. Mm-hmm. So in my mind I was like, you know what, that's really not that bad.
Right.
That
makes perfect sense because all the experts, they say you want to set a goal high enough that's going to challenge you, but not so high that you can't ever reach it.
Right, unattainable.
You don't have
right,
an attainable
exactly.
goal, right? And it sounds like you did it, even if you missed it by one tournament. I mean, that's still fabulous.
Right.
You know,
thank you.
right. Well, you're welcome.
I didn't want to say right. Like, you're right, I'm fabulous.
Yeah, but we know you were thinking it.
I am fabulous.
Nothing wrong with thinking you're fabulous.
Well, tell us, give us some details about the equipment that you shoot today. What's your and since 3D is sort of your go-to game, tell us what you typically shoot, what bow. Go through some of that with us.
I shoot the Energy 35. I was kind of playing around with the Victory 37, but the V-grip gives me a hard time. I've found a lot of women, smaller hands, tend to not like the V-grip. So I'll put the Shrewd, the overlay grip on it, and it really, really helps. Of course, I'm with TOG, so the companies under that at Scott, CBE, Winner's Choice, so I shoot all of those, and of course Shrewd, Black Eagle, and I actually got on with a company I'm really excited about. They're out of Wyoming. It's Maven Optics. They are just tremendous company. They produce just some of the top quality. They actually sent me a pair just to try out, and I had several different brands to compare it to, and it was just uncomparable, really. They don't sell in big stores, so they sell at like I'm losing my whatever those things are that
box stores.
You go. No, they're not box stores. It's like.
Are they hunting?
It's not like the ATA. It's not like ATA show, but it's like the hunting, the shows. It's
okay.
Okay, I got you.
Maven
but
Optics.
They are of quality. The quality of them are comparable to Swarovski. I mean, they're just
Oh, wow.
they're great. They're great. They really are, and the price is unbeatable. So, like when you have a pair of Swarovski optics, and the good thing about these Mavens are that they're completely, you can customize them, like totally. There's different colors and skins and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, really? Oh, that's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. I would highly recommend looking them up, and you can go through online and like just and do your demo pair, and you get exactly what you put, and it gives you the breakdown of the price and all that stuff. It's really cool. I'm trying to think of what else.
Well, what about your like draw length? You shoot an E35?
Yeah, 26
inch.
60-pound limbs, but I pull like 55, 50.
That's still
54,
pretty.
50.
Jeez, lady.
Is that a lot?
Yeah.
I hear that's a lot.
It
is
if you're gonna shoot a lot.
If you shoot a lot of arrows.
Shoot a lot of arrows.
The 35, when you draw that thing back, I'm sure Julie can attest to this, but like it's so smooth, and when you hold it back, it's not like, I mean, you're still holding weight back, and you can adjust it the way you need to, but it's just, you don't feel like you're holding that much weight.
It's got a lot of let off. It dumps down. Oh gosh,
it's like 85%.
Yeah,
85%.
Yeah, it's high let off.
Yeah, it has a lot of let off. So it is easy once you get it to the wall. It's easy to hold back there a long time.
Yeah, Barb has one too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So y'all know. Y'all are in the know.
Yeah. Yeah, but not at 55 pounds.
I am not in the know, so I just now know.
She just now knows.
She's a new know.
I'm a new now I know. Newly know.
Yep.
But thanks for letting me know.
And arrows, I'm shooting the Black Eagle. Right now I'm shooting the 23s, and I also shoot the X Impact. Those are the real small diameter arrows. It's funny because, I mean, a lot of people that shoot smaller arrows, they can, agree or whatever. But I cut more lines with those small arrows than I did with the bigger shaft arrows.
Mm-hmm. You think that they're more forgiving, more accurate?
They're just more consistent.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're way more consistent, and the windage wise, they're just a smaller arrow, and you can have a heavier tip weight in it, and they're just darts and Q2I vanes. There's the vanes I shoot, and
what release are you using?
The Scott Pro Advantage or Advantage Pro. It's a hinge. It's a 3 fingers, kind of like the Longhorn. It's the brass hinge Longhorn, but it's a smaller. It's 3 finger and it's tapered off. I used to shoot a button, but I was punching all day, every day, so I stopped that. And the hinge has really made a big difference. And it's been a recent change because the first tournament I shot completely with a hinge was Foley this past year.
Oh, right. Wow.
I mean, yeah, so it's fairly recent that I'm
last year
stuck with it,
So, do you mind talking about that transition a little bit? Was there anything special or different that you had to do as far as training goes to switch from a trigger to a hinge?
I actually went and saw a coach. Can I tell you? I mean, is it?
Yeah, tell us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, tell us everything.
I would have asked if you didn't tell me.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Jack Wallace.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I went and saw Jack Wallace. We've been to him several times, and he's great. I love him. He knows I love him, and he really helped me with the hinge. He recommended it, and he was like, you just need to stick with it. He was like, quit whining and stick with it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of blank bailing, and a lot of people ask me, like, well, what do you do? I just make up my mind. You just have to say, you have to, in your mind, what are you going to do? I'm going to do this. Do it. Don't, piddle fart around and change your mind and go back here and go back there. That's why, like, in the middle of the season, I hate switching my equipment around on my bow. When something happens, like, I feel my blood pressure rising.
I'm with you, girl. I'm with you.
I'm going to make my husband listen to this. We have these discussions all the time. He bounces back and forth and changes stuff. And right now, his big thing is switching releases. Going from a hinge to a thumb, a hinge to a thumb. And I keep telling him, you've got to settle on one and just try to become as proficient at it as you possibly can.
I think all these men do that. Keith has like 8 releases in his pouch, and the guys on the line will just like reach into his bag and start shooting whatever. Like, they're all wishy-washy. We're the only ones that stick to our guns.
Yeah.
One of the things that Jack was telling me about, I'm sure you know about this too, but like the learning curve. So when you start something new, you will probably do it really, really well. So if you start off with a new release, you're gonna have a really good like couple of days, and then all of a sudden it's gonna like plummet. It's just gonna go down, and then eventually you're gonna start climbing. And if it's something that works for you, if you're doing it correctly, you're consistent with it, you're going to rise above the point that you were at beforehand. You know what I mean? So you have like a constant.
Right.
You have like a constant. So you're going to go really high. You're going to go down below that constant. And then when you rise back up, you should start performing better.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point. Because do you think that, and that might be where people change too much, is they pick up something new, like, oh, this is awesome, it's great, it's going so well, and then I think I've
you
even
have to work through that.
Yeah. In education, we call that an implementation dip. And it's the exact same thing. Everything looks real great and is going along great, and then all of a sudden it just takes a nosedive.
So
and then once it starts to straighten, then
when I go shoot a nickel or miss a target, I'll say that was an implementation dip.
That's right. And then the next one's going to be 12. Yeah.
I'm gonna go, what was that? It was some sort of dip.
How many implementation dips will I have? Start at Nexus again.
That's how my diets work.
Yes, that piece of cake was an implementation in my diet. I'm good.
It tasted wonderful. Oh, now it doesn't taste so good.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
We all learned something.
Well, and so we kind of covered your release. What about your sight and your scope? Are you using a powered lens? What kind of aperture?
Yeah, the CBE Vertex, and it's a CBE Vertex. I'm using a two power lens. And a verifier.
So not a lot of.
No, I try to keep that at minimum because especially you don't know, like with the elements and stuff like that. If it's raining, it'll fog up. You have to worry about that. Like in Kentucky, that was just a nightmare last year. In Kentucky, it was a monsoon, and everybody was freaking out. And we had planned beforehand. I had practiced those like 2 weeks prior without a lens. And a verifier,
just in case.
Just because, just in case, and it ended up raining, and I was prepared for that. So I don't make it like a habit to constantly shoot without a lens because I usually always shoot with a lens. But every now and then I'll just go out there and kind of hit the refresh.
So did you actually like mid-tournament pop out your lens, pull your lens out? When the rain started coming in?
Not in the middle of a tournament, no.
Just before you went?
I hadn't. It had started raining. It was already in the forecast.
Oh, okay.
So like I had taken it out before.
I see.
Yeah, I had taken it out before,
just in case,
and sighted in and did my corrections and everything on the bails.
I see.
And
I bet you were like a rock star, man.
Yeah,
I bet you were like,
no, that's right.
No, I've never. That would also give me a panic attack if I took my lens out.
That's what. So you kind of like even looked ahead and say, hey, there's a bunch of rain, and I'm gonna pull out the lens and.
It sounds like you're a little afraid of change, unless you're ready for it. Yeah, that's me too.
I constantly. I not thrive, but like I am depending on, things staying the same as
what works.
And like during practice, I want it to be, I want my bow to be the same during practice. Even like putting a twist in the strings stresses me out.
Me too. Because I feel like it worked last week. Something I did is wrong. I need to work out what I did wrong and figure that out. I cannot stand change. And my husband loves to like run over there and go, and then I'm like, oh, what'd you do? And it's never for the better. He needs to keep his grubby hands off my bow. So I understand. I'm the same way. I cannot stand the change.
Talking about changes, are you your own bow mechanic? Do you tune your bow yourself, or do you get help?
Josh is a very good bow mechanic. He is not a very good teacher of how to be a bow mechanic. So I have to literally remove his hands from my bow and like tell him no touchy. You tell me how to do it. Tell me how, because I want to know. Like I think it is imperative for a woman, if you are going to be a professional archer, I really feel that it is important to know your bow. I can't stress that enough. Because if you're out there and you're in a field of competitors and something happens to your bow, I don't care if you're best friends with somebody. You need to know how to fix your bow. You wouldn't want to rely on a competitor. Not that anybody's going to do anything to it, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
I wouldn't feel comfortable relying on somebody else that I'm competing against to help to fix my bow.
Right. Well, and on the flip side of that, I don't know that I would be comfortable as a competitor working on someone else's bow, because I'd be terrified I would mess it up or, mess them up, ruin their tournament somehow, and not even mean to.
Exactly. You don't want to put that pressure on somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that's a huge thing. And, if your rest were to come loose and, you don't want to go to the proctor and be like, help. You want to be able to do it yourself. But I do, I can tie my peep in, I can tie a D-loop, I can, level it all out, I can tune it, I can do all that stuff. It takes me longer than it would take Josh to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'll work on my bow as much as I can. Most of the time he's fussing at me to not mess with my bow. He's like, just wait till I get home. Just wait.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it. And I'm like, no, I want to do it.
Right.
I want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty impressive.
Oh, very impressive. And I think that's they say men are they're the doers, the fixers. That's why they're not good, like, to talk to or whatever, because they just throw out some suggestion like, well, do this or whatever, because that's just programmed in their species. To fix it. So, I could see where he'd be like, just wait till I get home. I'll take care of it for you.
And I mean, by and large, as we've been doing some of these interviews and podcasts, I've noticed more of the ladies I'm hearing it more and more. They're starting to work on their own equipment, become more familiar with all the mechanics of the bow, how to change things, make small adjustments. I'm hearing that
that's
a lot
great.
more.
It's empowering.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I can tell you, none of us at our table are proficient at any of that yet.
No, no, not really.
It's hard when you have somebody that you live with, that. Like I said, Josh is very, very good at fixing a bow. I recommend him to anyone. I've had friends from high school that got into archery and they catch up with me on Facebook and they're like, oh my gosh, my bow's messed up. I took it to a place and they messed it up even more. And I'm like, just bring it out here. He will fix it for you and he'll love doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's like Barb's husband, Jim.
Yeah,
he eats that up too. I think he loves helping people with their bow. If they
I know, but
done.
it's because of that though. I haven't really learned more. I have learned more because I've been insistent on it, but I still have a fear. Like, I think I need to take a couple of twists out of my string, and I'm afraid to do it by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure when I do it and I first draw it back, the whole thing's going to explode on me. That's what I think in the back of my mind.
Hands are going to roll over.
Yeah, like, no, the whole thing's just going to literally blow up in my face. No. No, I know. I know it's exaggerating. But
I think if we were put in a situation where we had to do something in the field or on the line, we only had a short amount of time. We couldn't find any of the men. I think each of us could figure it out.
Maybe the three of us could make a whole brain.
Right. Diva power. Put our rings together and it fixes it.
Now, okay, just think about what you said, because we can barely run this recording equipment. I think this is the first time since February that we've done it without any problems.
Yeah, because it was set up.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It was already plugged in. We had to turn on the power.
And you're talking about us working on a bow? Yeah.
Well, I know, but we've been around archery equipment for a long time.
Yes.
Combined the amount of years that we've been around it, I think we could figure it out. Have we always been around sound equipment? No. This looks like some sort of spaceship. Like, beam me up, Scotty. I mean, I don't understand it, so no. Okay, a bow's a little more simple. Okay. All right, done with my rant. Take a drink of my water.
She wore herself out on that one.
Is that water?
Yeah.
Well, that's what she says it is.
Right.
It's clear and odorless. Who knows?
Oh, goodness. Yep, firewater.
Firewater.
So are you planning on going to any of the bigger indoor tournaments this year? Are you going to keep it local?
No, we're going to go to the Midwest Open.
Okay.
Yay, I'll
next
see
week.
you there then. We'll be there.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, we're going there. Lancaster. Is it Lancaster or Lancaster? Because we have a Lancaster, South Carolina, and it's Lancaster. And if you call it Lancaster, you're ridiculous. So
yeah, well, I've heard Christy pronounce it Lancaster, so I think that's probably the right way. She's from Pennsylvania, isn't she? So
yeah,
Ohio,
I call
Pennsylvania.
It Lancaster.
Lancaster.
I call
do
it
too.
Lancaster.
Of course, you know, if you're from the Kansas, Missouri area where we're from, what normal people would call El Dorado, we say El Dorado. What normal people would say Nevada, we say Nevada.
There's not even a consensus on Missouri or Missouri.
Yeah, so don't rely on us for the proper pronunciation.
Oh goodness.
Okay.
Yeah, but I went to Vegas last year, and I didn't do good, and I didn't like it. So
yeah. So you're saying that one's out this year?
You know, it was kind of whatever. But we're probably not going to go to Vegas this year. I went without Josh, and it was a rough go.
Yeah.
So we'll hit up Midwest Open and Lancaster. For sure.
Good.
And as far as indoor goes, that's
probably going to be it.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. And so then, really, I mean, before you know it, just 2.5, 3 months.
Yeah,
ASA fires
like
back up.
Something days.
Yeah.
Oh, she's got down to the days.
Yeah. But what have you been doing to prepare for that? Your rookie year as a pro.
Prepare. Oh boy. Well, we actually bought the Lynx, so that's the new one. You know, the new Lynx target, which is extremely scary. So we got that, and I'm gonna, after we come back from Midwest Open, I'm gonna start getting out there and practicing and training. We have a range that we bought, I think, 4 years ago. But it's, you know, it's all the current targets that are out now. We have them out there.
Do you move them around? Like, are you, like, when in your, how do I want to put this? So when you train for judging, I mean, are you using that as a separate practice from your shooting practice, or combine them both?
Usually, so we have 26 acres. Very blessed, but we have 26 acres, and we have about, I think it's like maybe 15 of that is heavy wooded.
Good.
And the way we set it up is where you can stand at different spots.
Good.
So it's not only just one lane, you can stand in 4 different areas. So he'll go move the target, and I'll stand up, 20 yards away, 30 yards away, and stand in different spots and tell them where to go. But as far as my practice goes, I will usually shoot probably 4 days, but I will judge every day.
Mm-hmm.
I judge. People who shoot known class, they're like, I don't have time to judge. Well, you don't have time to judge because you have to. You have to get out there and look at those targets.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be familiar with the size of them while you're standing next to them. You know what I mean? So, like that Black Panther was easy for me because I'm just so used to the mountain lion. All you have to do is just paint one half of it black and flip it around, and it's a mountain lion.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are the same target.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's just being familiar. It's just really being familiar with the targets. If you don't have a range,
are you judging more by like the way the target looks at different distances, or are you doing ground judging, or
both?
Okay.
Yeah, I do just a little bit of everything. So when I get up there, I'm going to talk about my shot process. Can I do that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So based off of the situation that I'm in, my shot process will be more detailed. The more intense the situation, the longer my shot process to keep me in the zone, so to speak. So like if I'm in the backyard, my shot process is I look at the target immediately and get a number. And then I'll look at the ground and go off of that and see what number I get off of that. If it's close or if it's the exact same thing, I usually go with that. I'll see, I'll look real hard and visualize, whatever's around it, just the surrounding area. Of course, when you say it out loud, it's like a really long thing, but it takes like 15 seconds, to do it. But so in a shoot down situation, for example, my shot process would be, snap judge, ground judge, glass target, knock the arrow, hook on the release, and then draw it back, settle in, pull, flat hand, execute, hopefully. And but that's a long shot process. So when you're in the backyard, it's just knock the arrow, hook the release, and draw it back. But the longer the shot process for me, the easier it is for me to execute the shot because I'm more settled, I'm more relaxed.
You've covered all your bases.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah, and you've kept your mind occupied on all of that, and so like the pressure or the stress of the moment or whatever really can't creep in that much because you're so engaged in the process.
Yep. And the biggest thing for me, like with 3D, it's for me, it's a lot of visualization and just confidence in your shot. Like when I step up to a target, it's like at the Classic, because that was the most recent, I'm already, as soon as I step up to the target, I'm judging it, looking at the size, looking at the ground. And I also keep a book when I judge, practicing.
Good.
So I can go back and look. So if I look at the hyena, and I'll know in that tournament, I typically judge this hyena hot. I typically judge him hot. So if I know, I'm always judging him 2 yards hot. So when I look at that thing and he's 30, and I say, oh, he's 37, I might shoot him for 36.
Right.
I'm not going to shoot him for like 34, but I might shoot him for 36, just aim center 10 and, go for gold.
Right,
so.
right.
So you're implementing some, your tendencies along with some course management.
Yes. I mean, course management, for me also, the biggest thing in course management is forgetting your last target. No matter what it was, I don't care if it was a 5, I don't care if it was a 12, because if you start counting your 12s, in your mind, then you're going to start chasing them.
Right.
And it's just staying in the present. A lot of people don't know this, but I missed a target at the Classic. And I had prepared so much mentally before the Classic that I missed that target, and I didn't even care. I did not care.
Wow.
I don't know how, because if it happened to me now, I'd be like, I'd be freaking out. But when it was black bear, I remember which one it was, and I shot, and I shot it for 41 yards, and I deserved to miss him. I shot him for 41, or no, excuse me. I shot him for 38, and he was 43 yards. And I walked back up to that target after it was over, and I was like, I'd shoot him for 38 again. Right now, I don't care. He got me. He just got me.
Right.
But I missed him, and that was the third target of the second day, and I was in the top peer group. And, I just didn't care. I didn't think about it. I just shot my game. And I was out of first place by 1 point.
Oh, goodness, girl.
Yeah.
I feel like you're a genius, though.
I might be completely wrong. I might be completely wrong on that, but it was within like a 5-point spread.
Yeah, it wasn't a 12-point spread.
First, second, and third were like neck and neck. And
so even with your miss, you're saying that you were out of the lead by
a few points,
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
first,
yes, even with the miss. So that was how good I shot that course. With a miss, third target in, you think most people would just break down. They'd be like, "It's over. It's over. I shot a 0. I'm done." No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not done. You've just gotten started.
That's yeah, and I'm really really glad to hear you say that because I shot with someone a few years ago who missed a target and she had a really tough time shaking it off for like 5 or 6 targets. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, you know, just having watched and observed so many people shoot over time, you can easily miss it. It's a little bit different than indoor. Indoor is more of a game of perfection every single shot, but in 3D, man, I've seen a lot of people make up points, you know, missing a target and then go on a streak of 12s. And
I learned that lesson early at my very first ASA. I missed a target.
Did you?
And thought, oh my gosh, you know, because I had shot really well up until that point. And I thought, I'm done. I'm out of this thing. And it rained the next day.
You don't know how anybody else is doing.
No. And I came back and I wound up finishing third. And that taught me a very important lesson right out of the gate. Now, have I always, you know, remembered that lesson and paid attention? No. But, yeah, no, you're 100% right. You're never out of it. Anything could happen.
And the one thing that I've noticed too, and I'm not dogging on my open A ladies by any means, but it's a difference in mentality with pros, even men pro and amateur men. I'll just say that. You never hear those top shooters, if they make a bad shot or if they hit a 5, they're laughing about it. They're like, nah, I got a 5, because it's like, it's not over. It's not. It's that's for them. That doesn't mean that it's over. That's the biggest thing mentally. Just not counting yourself out. You don't know how many times I wanted to just shake some of my friends and be like, "Just you are great. You are great. You are a great shot. You're not done. You have, 35 more targets left this weekend. You're not done." You know, and it's just so hard to learn that aspect of the game, and which is the majority of archery is mental.
Yeah.
You know.
How did you do your mental coaching? Did you like read a Lanny Basham book or watch videos or work with somebody?
Yes, Jack also recommended Golf is Not a Game of Perfect. That is a great book. I listened to it. I got it on audio, and I listened to it on the way to every single tournament. And it's good because when they speak about when he like talks about golf, he says making your shot. You can just so correlate it to archery. It's just like it's perfect. So
probably a lot about your shot process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he says, they go back and they make their shot, you can imagine it being archery instead of golf. Yes, and I did read the Lanny Basham book, the
With Winning in Mind.
Yes, With Winning in Mind. And that one, I like that one. It's a great book, but with the 3 circles, I have a hard time. Because they always say the 3 circles need to be the same size, yourself and your whatever it is, and I just I don't even get it. I can't do that. Like psycho stuff. I'm like, my circle. I'm in my circle.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So are you saying you're in your own little world?
Yeah. Yeah. Usually.
Yeah.
Typically, I am in my own little world.
Yeah. I know in like shooting Vegas, if I shoot a 9, I usually don't count myself out, but it is a mental torture on yourself because you're just like, man, I've been shooting so good and I've shot that 9 and it's just killing me. So I'm going to try to use some of your little tricks.
Yeah.
Don't count yourself
out.
I'm telling you, I mean, it's made a huge, that's been, if somebody, anybody besides you guys, but I mean, like if somebody asked me what changed for you this past year, it was my mental game.
Was it?
Yes.
Good for you.
It was my mental game. It wasn't that I practiced more or less or whatever, because I've been practicing. I mean, last year I practiced hard. But when I went into Open A for the first time, I was so intimidated. I was like, oh my God, these ladies, they're amazing, they're awesome, and they're scary, and and then I got there and I was like, they're just like me.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They're just as scared as I am.
Yeah, and you're in,
and I made some lifelong friends. In Open A
and more more shout out to you too. Speaking of the other ladies in Open A, because that's a really tough group of women that you're that you keep company with, and how many of you are going pro next year?
5, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, that's just a huge.
That is a big. I think that's the biggest number that's ever jumped into pro in a year, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was a tough year.
Yeah.
It was a tough year. They and I'm probably going to forget somebody, but Billy Ray, Sarah Martin, Val, me, Val Tracy, me, and Kayla Whitaker.
Okay.
That's a 5. Now somebody might have made a choice to go, but us 5. Val was a new one at the end of the year that I learned about.
Yeah,
and then I'm telling you,
that's just a testament to your talent to be to perform as well as you did in such a tough competitive group. And I want you to be my mental coach, please.
Yeah. You really do. Out of everybody we've ever talked to,
yeah,
of everybody we've ever talked to, you really do. I mean, you could write a book.
Yeah,
I would read it or listen to it on CD on my way to.
I want you to
say this. I have to say this, and I know she will roll her eyes when she listens to this, but the one person, and I have to say it, the one person that has taught me so much about my mental game is Christine Harrelson.
I knew you were going to say that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she is like a Jedi. She's just ridiculous.
A Jedi.
And she is. I mean, she's encouraging. I've always been encouraging, but anytime I have any kind of doubts, I'm like texting her, and she's like, "You got this. You got it." I was not even sure if we were going to go to Midwest Open. She was like, "Yeah, you're going. You don't have anything to do. You're going."
Yeah.
And there's no excuses with her. And it's just, that's one thing that,
So she used a Jedi mind trick on you.
She did.
You will attend the Midwest Open.
Jedi mind trick me all the
time. That's cool.
But, she's definitely helped me with my mental game this past, year and a half or so since we've become friends.
Yeah, she's pretty fantastic.
And, it is kind of, pretty encouraging when you see a lot of the ladies in the pros, and we've talked to so many of them, and it's like everybody,
they're amazing women.
They really are, and
women.
It's like they're tough competitors, and there's some money at stake, but man, everybody's so uplifting to each other.
Yeah.
I guess, unlike professional skating, I guess. So, or
where they take out their knees.
Where they ball bat you in the knees and stuff. So, our sport is better than skating.
Yeah,
right?
Of course it is. Gosh, can you imagine your ankles? Jeez.
No.
God, awful.
Yeah, or
I would always fear I'd lose fingers. Fall and somebody slice
them
off.
I mean, it's so. I think it's so cool to see like everybody just is always looking for the best in others. I've
we
just
do
seen
have
it,
a very honest sport.
Yeah, I've seen it
like
time and time again.
And helpful. I've never seen a group of people that are so willing to go out of their way to help a fellow archer, or even, a new archer, somebody who might even remotely be interested in archery. I mean, they're the most giving, kind, helpful group of people I've ever met.
Right.
So we've settled it. It's awesome. We're awesome.
We're awesome.
Well, of course we are.
Archers are awesome.
Everything is awesome.
Yep.
So what do you like to do?
I totally agree.
Okay, I know it probably takes up a lot of your time, but what do you like to do when you're not arching?
Arching.
Archery. I know you have a
and I have plenty of time. My son's in bed. So
okay.
I'm good.
Well,
I'm good.
It's a terrible segue,
actually,
but I know you have an interesting side hobby, I guess. Is that a good word?
It's not a hobby. It's not a hobby. My sponsor would not be happy with that.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, falconry. Yes, I just got into falconry this past year. And funny enough, Christine's husband, Chad, is my sponsor. He's a master falconer. So before I get into this, if I flub any of the terminology or any of the explanations, just ignore it. So he'll get on me. He'll get on my case. But what you do is 2 years as an apprentice, another 2 years as a general falconer. And then after that, you are 2 years apprentice, 4 years general, and then master falconer.
Mm-hmm.
You get different, not privileges, but I'm only allowed to have one bird
Mm-hmm.
during my apprentice. And when you're a general, you can have 2, and then 2 or 3, and then when you're a master, you can have like up to 5.
Oh, wow.
But you don't want to have 5. You have 5 terrible hunting birds, and none of them would be that great because you don't have time, to work with them.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I basically you have to go and take a test. You have to buy your license. It's good for a year, and then you go and you trap during trapping season. It starts in South Carolina. It starts in August. And you can have a red-tailed hawk. You can only trap a juvenile, which is under a year old. So they've just hatched in like March, I think. And they're out of the nest and everything, so they're flying around. And you trap juveniles, and the way you tell that it's a juvenile is it has a brown tail. After their first year, they will molt, and their tail will grow back in the standard red tail hawk.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you know if it's a juvenile. If you trap one and it's got a red tail, you just let it go.
Mm-hmm. What led you to do this? What interested you?
It was kind of the same thing with archery. We were up in Chapel Hill last year, and Chad was flying his Harris hawk. And we went hunting, and it was kind of like it happened with archery. We went out there, and I was like, I want to do this. It was the same thing. I haven't had that many aha moments, but it was definitely like, yes, this is awesome. This is awesome.
What a unique sport.
So,
I mean,
it's very unique.
I know if somebody come up and introduce themselves to you, I doubt they would know you were like the queen of archery and you had a falcon. Or, I mean, a hawk. I mean, those are, I mean, you're
it definitely gets a lot of questions for sure, but it's fun. And
it'd be like the Game of Thrones or something.
Right.
Well, I always think of the book My Side of the Mountain.
Oh, I haven't.
And he catches... I think it's a falcon. It's a bird of prey. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I read it. He lives in like New York City, the little boy, and he just up and leaves and goes to like the old family property in like upstate New York somewhere and lives out there by himself and catches this bird of prey and trains it and like lives in a hollowed out tree. And but every time I hear you talk about it or see something on Facebook, I always think of that book.
Huh.
I could never do it because I'd turn it into a big baby about like my dog, and it'd be worthless, and it'd be like fat and lazy hog,
have to cradle
and it wouldn't
it all
even.
the time.
I know I'd have to cradle it.
Like baby birded.
I did have
like a big parrot. The best thing, I think, the reason that I like it so much, the best thing about it is that raptors basically lack emotion. They have like 2 levels. It's kill and sleep. So, they're all like when you're training a dog, and you tell them no, you cannot do that with a hawk. They're gonna scratch your eyes out. You know,
Oh, great.
It's not like that. You reinforce with food. So basically, what they do is they see you as a food source. So that's why they come back. They don't come back because they love you and they want to cuddle. And
that's not what I want to believe.
That's not. Yeah, it's a survival. It's like a survival thing. So
right.
And so when we go out hunting, he sees me as the one. I'm a glorified hunting dog. Basically,
Yeah.
I flush the game. He kills the game, and that's his reward. You know, at the end is I throw out a lure that's got a big chunk of meat on it, and he eats that, and that's his
that's very cool.
deal.
Huh.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I still couldn't. I'd still disillusion myself. I mean,
superpower you have.
I'd be like, I know it has some feeling. It does love me. I'm pretty sure.
See, now I feel like I'm an
I'm
underachiever
I
again.
say the same thing, and Chad's like, no, he tolerates you.
Don't disillusion me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and you let him go. You let him go at the end.
Aww.
And at the end of the year, you can release him. I'm going to keep him for 2 years for my apprenticeship. And I was like, I'm going to go into a depression when I released him, you know, and I was like, he's going to come back. He's just going to come back. And when I release him, he's not going to go. And Chad's like, he's going to be gone. Like,
no, I
bye.
believe he'll come back. I'm pretty sure, Megan, he's going to come back to you because he loves you.
Yeah.
I think
It's not Lassie.
Chad's wrong.
There's a boy in the world.
That's so wrong.
I do have one other quick question. Stalking your Facebook, and I noticed that you do a little bit of deer hunting, and you had posted not too long ago a shampoo and conditioner.
Yeah.
And it was not a hunting. It didn't look like it was. Anyway, you can claim that it left your hair feeling way better than the other crap that makes your hair feel like straw,
horrible.
basically.
Yeah. I got it off Amazon.
What was it called? Do you recall?
Oh my gosh. Free and Gentle. Free and Clear, or free. It's a white bottle with blue writing, and
it's a scent free. I think I noticed, but
it is. Yeah, it's completely scent free. And my husband's like a bloodhound when it comes to like hunting season and smell and stuff like that. And even he was like, "Whoa, that's
really
cool." Yeah. Oh yeah. And the conditioner. There's another one. That one of my friends had shown me, and I know a couple of ladies that use it, but the shampoo does have a small scent to it. But this, what I have, the Free and Clear, I think it's Free and Clear.
Yes,
it is.
We just pulled it
Are you
up.
looking at it?
Yeah, because that's like I've been hunting a lot, and like it was nice to take the week off during Thanksgiving to get some freaking conditioner back in my hair, because it was.
Yes.
I
went a whole week. Up in Indiana when I went hunting up there, and I washed my hair every night in that, and it was not. I mean, it wasn't the same as like Redken, you know.
Right.
It's not like a salon quality shampoo, but it was definitely not like the others. It's just like basically putting lotion on your hair, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All of that just kind of greases out, but this was definitely. I could have dried it and straightened it and done it all.
Right.
You know, with that.
Did you have some deer that were nearby that you
tried it out on?
You know what I mean? I mean, try.
No, Annalise, you use it on yourself, not on the deer.
Oh wait, hold on. I have no
You're
idea.
You're confused.
Yeah, I'm so. I don't know.
Wait, did I go hunting? You mean?
Yes.
Yeah, that was
Wait, I am confused.
See? What's this hunting you speak of?
Deer? Is that what they are?
Yeah.
Yes. That's honestly, though, my least favorite thing about hunting is the product.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sandpaper skin, straw hair.
And it's never a complaint of guys, but man, if I go several days washing with all that stuff, I do. I feel like
crusty.
Crusty.
Yeah,
like parts of me are cracking off, and
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah, you lose like 3 inches of hair because it's broke off.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Well, what's your question that you always ask? Do Do you guys want to start? You want me to start with your wrap-up questions?
Yeah, we always have a couple of standard questions that we ask towards the
I can start
end.
with mine.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh my God. Okay.
My standard question is usually that's real easy.
Did I have a standard?
Yeah, I always thought you did. Okay, never mind.
I think it was the shampoo got me off track.
Yeah.
My standard yeah, is okay, so you don't have a hip quiver, correct? You have like a chair you carry. Is that
Well,
no, I have a hip quiver.
Yeah, you'll have one for indoor.
Okay. Is there anything special or unique to you that you carry in your hip quiver or on your bow, in your chair that no one really knows about, that you've not shared or that you would like to share with us?
Yeah, I have I don't know if you've ever heard of Pelican snowballs. It's like Snow Biz, or the shaved ice. It's like
yeah, the
you know what I'm talking
malls
about?
used to have it. No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we have one here. It's called Pelican Snowballs, and they have Pelican bucks, and it's like a silver dollar. It's worth $1.
Mm-hmm.
And the owner that owns the one here in York, his brother opened one in like Matthews up in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he had given his nephew a Pelican buck, for a shotgun competition like years ago, and he won the championship with that Pelican buck. You know, he had it on him the whole time, and they had given me a Pelican buck, and I went that weekend and won first place in one of the ASAs.
No, it ain't
Oh, wow.
leaving. You ain't spinning on no snowball.
Yeah, it's on me. It's on me. You see me, it's on me.
Yeah.
It's in my pocket.
Yeah.
Christine threatened to steal it from me one time, and I was like, it won't work for you, so
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't need it. She's got the force.
No, she doesn't need it.
Exactly.
I'm not giving you any help, especially next year.
It starts flying out of your pocket. You're going to have to snatch it
Yeah.
out of the air.
Yeah.
Jedi.
So like one of the questions I always ask, and we do have to wrap it up because we've been going a while, but if you kind of covered some of this, if you had any advice to pass along to a new shooter, someone came up to you and they had an interest in shooting, what direction would you send them?
I would probably just, I was coaching for a little while, but it was always younger kids. I really have a passion to coach, like current shooters, people who want to, I really would like to do that. But I mean, somebody who's brand new to it, I always say just get out there, go to local tournaments. Even if you don't go and shoot, go and see what it's all about. And if you have a local tournament, if you have a national tournament that comes in your area, go there. And it's just not being afraid to make that step. If you're interested in it, just go to a local shop and pull a bow back. For me, it just kind of fell in my lap.
Mm-hmm.
Josh had shot before he actually won he got qualified to go to Georgia or Tennessee or something for the Deer Hunter Classic. Is that right? The Deer Hunter Classic? Or whatever that indoor 3 tournament, the pop-up tournament.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When he was like 13, he qualified. He won a local thing, and he was able to go, but he couldn't go because he couldn't drive. Nobody could take him. So he shot, but never competed when he got older. But we got into it together, and just don't be afraid. Don't be intimidated. Everybody's got to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, good advice.
Don't let age be a factor either. That's just one of the biggest things. I was coaching a lot of kids, and their moms so many moms were like, I want to do this. This looks so much fun. I'm like, do it. Let's go. Come on. And they're like, no. I don't have time. I'm like, you just got to make time.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually come up a couple of times with people that we've talked with. I think even Jenny Richardson had brought that up. that's part that's part of what's attributing some of the growth of women in the sport is
their kids.
Is their kids starting, and then they get interested. And I think Christina, didn't she start that way too? Christina Jones.
Her dad was taking her hunting, right? And then
I don't know. I thought she was bringing her daughter, and
then, her daughter started.
Oh, Christina Jones. Yes, I always do that. I always switch her name around. Yeah. So that's how she got started.
Yeah, there's been several of them.
I've been coaching a 77-year-old lady, so even the grandmas are getting into it. Yeah,
we need to have her.
That's
on
awesome.
One of these
times. I love it.
Yeah, she's a.
Has she been shooting any indoor?
Yeah. No, she hasn't shot anything lately. She asked me before our season ended. She said, "Is there anywhere I could do this more often?" I said, "Oh, if I had a place for you to do this more often, I would." I mean, just that kind of thing keeps you going. You're like, "Oh, I've done something good."
Yeah. So cool. Megan, is there anything that you would like to talk about that we haven't covered?
No, I think we've been very thorough.
Yeah.
You've been awesome. You've been a fantastic guest. Yeah, we love it.
Well, thank you. Thank you, ladies, so much. And I mean, I know this probably sounds cliche, but you've kind of given me a little bit more of a spark to get out there. You know, it's not an off season, but for indoor, it's kind of like a little break for me. But now I'm like, I want to go shoot my bow.
There you go. Good. Well, you're certainly inspirational to a lot of other people, and hopefully you'll be able to spread that inspiration even further through, your future shooting, and maybe the 10 people that listen to us, you'll inspire one of them.
There's more than 10.
But we really do appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a pleasure, and it was fun, and
good.
And hopefully you guys can interview me after I win a pro.
Yes.
A pro-am.
We absolutely will. We will check back in with you. Yeah. Absolutely.
We were just talking about that tonight. We need to start getting some repeat offenders so we can keep updating on
repeat offenders.
Updating on how they're doing.
Miranda rights.
There you go.
I mean, we're a theme here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we wish you the best, and I'm sure we will catch up with you in the future.
Yes. Good luck next year, and congratulations on your move. And we'll definitely be looking forward to. Maybe we'll talk to you again after we get through the season some and see how you like the change.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thanks, ladies. Bye-bye.
All right,
bye-bye.
She was so stinking good.
Yeah, she was.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the mental stuff, she was like, that was really impressive.
Right, and she put it in a different way than I've heard before.
Me too, yeah.
More of a personable approach to things. Like, I felt like I could relate to what she was saying, and it wasn't like, someone trying to tell me to do those things. She was talking about how she did it, and I felt like, man, I could really use that.
Yeah. I don't know, and maybe it's because I don't want to say she's more of a real person than the pros are.
Approachable.
But I think, like you said, relatable.
It's not like she has a lot of, many years of experience dealing with it.
Yeah, so maybe it's easier for us to relate to her because...
Right. She's just getting into it.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Well, and you do sort of wonder, I've always wondered this. When you see some of these pros get up there, you watch videos or something, and you see some of them do it over and over again, and they look just as steady as a rock, and nothing just affects them at all. And then you're kind of like, well, have they just done it so much
that it's so simple and they don't even have to think about it? There's no mental game. It's just there.
Yeah, have they just done it that much that it doesn't impact them?
I feel that way on some.
And then that kind of seems insurmountable when you're like, I could never, do that. So, but she put it in a way where...
Right. Because now you can't say, I can never do that. Because you have to be positive now, Barb. You can say, yes, I can do that.
Oh.
Yeah. Really.
I have to do that?
Yeah, you have to be positive.
I do what I want. Don't tell me how to live.
You don't know me.
Security. You don't know me.
Security.
But...
you can have it your way.
I guess what I was saying is... Don't get crazy. Security. Anyway, now I don't even remember what I was going to say.
It always happens like that.
Yes, it does.
I guess what I'm saying is she knew she was going to have some stuff to deal with. So she like just took this very systematic approach and just was like boom, boom, boom. So,
Which is probably the way you should do it instead of, just thrashing around blindly out there banging off of walls.
That's usually
and other
me.
people. And yeah, that would be me.
That's
Me
usually
too.
me.
I'm like,
Thrash.
squirrel! Oh my God, it's glittery!
Sparkles. It's shiny.
What a pretty
Exactly.
bow you have.
I've done that before at shoots.
Yeah.
The OCD kicks in.
Yeah.
Oh, you finally joined us. You've been gone all day.
Oh, it's Otto, the podcast dog. Or are you talking about Anna?
That too.
Barb's daughter Anna just walked in. So. Well, do we have anything else? I know Barb shot a very nice buck.
I don't know if it was very nice, but
well,
Hey,
yeah, it was.
It was bigger than anything I've shot with a bow. So, and I was starting to get. I was super glad that he came out because I was starting to get tired of. I was doing this whole waiting for the right one and watched a lot of deer walk under me that weren't quite, what I wanted to shoot. And he wasn't even exact because I have some video of had a couple of nicer bucks on camera, and he's not one of them. So there's still a couple of others lingering around.
So
but
how did the whole thing go down? Was it fast or drawn out?
No, it was actually, it was really cool. I wished I'd have videoed it because it was the day before rifle season. So it was the last day I could have used my archery tag before you had to use your rifle tag. And I ran out on a Friday afternoon, sat in the tree about 3 o'clock, and just out the back here, and sat there about an hour, and then 3 does came in, and they milled around for a little bit in front of me in this little, field thing, and they walked, and I sat there and thought hard. I was like, man, I really want to shoot something. And then Jim the other day was like, no, don't. The rut is right on right now. And the really cool thing was they kind of meandered off into the woods, and I was holding really still because they were close. I mean, they're the closest. They were within, 10, 15, 20 yards. And they were moving around, too, so I had to be really, really still. So they kind of shuffled off into the woods behind me, behind my stand. And I'm still trying to pay attention to where they went. And I'm starting to where I can't see them, but I can hear them. And then I hear this blow, and I was like, did I just get busted? And I just stood really still, and here he came from right where they had come from, and he was in full rut. I've never seen a deer. I mean, I've seen him at a distance, but he was up close, and he was walking around where they were. And when he came in, he was headed straight towards me, and I didn't want to move because I didn't want to spook him. So but he was making all sorts of noise. I don't want to try it because I'll sound like an idiot.
Meow.
Not that. No,
Barb, that didn't sound like a deer at all.
He was blowing, like he was being all manly. He was like really strutting his stuff. It was really cool.
Caw.
He did. He said caw.
Oh,
he did. Exactly.
You shot Willie?
Yes. I'm not going to say it. I was like, sometimes I want to. No, I think that's what Jessica says sometimes. But anyway. So he came in and he kind of turned like he was going to go into the woods, and his head got behind a tree. So that's when I'm like, I'll pick up my bow real quick. And then I got drawn back. And then he was stepping back, and I couldn't quite get him to stop. And I shot him. He was about just slightly over 20 yards. He wasn't very far away, but he's broadside, maybe quarter, just a hair. Mm-hmm. And my arrow hit. I didn't like the way it hit, but I knew I got good penetration. I mean, it went in. So fast, not real. I mean, I had some time, but I was having to be like really still because I did not want to get busted. Mm-hmm. Anyway,
were you afraid he was going to be able to hear your heart beating?
Yes, my heart was pounding. That was it was tough. And my arrow, and I shot just a little bit of left where I wanted to hit, a little farther up in the shoulder than I wanted it to. But I knew I got good penetration, but I was really worried. I was like, damn, that didn't hit exactly where I wanted to. Mm-hmm. And I came inside, and Jim had just gotten home from work, and I was peeled off the seal. I was like, oh my God, I had to get out of the tree and come back in. I didn't even try to go see where he went. I just came straight in, and then Jim's like, let's go get him. I was like, no, let's wait a little bit. I'm not sure about my shot. I want to let him, he didn't go 50 yards.
Really?
He just went over.
Cool.
Yeah, and that made me feel a lot better too, because I don't like to.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever shot a deer and had to track and track and track them.
It sucks.
It does suck, and it's I mean it's. All you have to do is misplace that shot and miss a vital by a little bit, or and they can go a long ways, and I really hate that. So I was really thankful when I found him down so quickly. Jim was like, "Oh, I'm sure he's down," based on what I was telling him, and I was like, "Oh, I hope so," but yeah, he didn't go very far.
Yeah, well, good for you.
Yeah,
that's exciting.
I caught a lung, maybe both lungs. I didn't really look.
Yeah,
but yeah,
so
he didn't
cool.
go.
So
50,
proud of
60
you.
yards,
Happy for you.
Yeah, I was excited. And then it was nice to have all that meat, too. I was like, yay. Because we didn't have any. We were completely out.
Yeah,
so
that's even better.
I know.
Putting that meat on the table.
When we do our next podcast, we're going to have some chili?
We should. Yeah, I got to get a grinder, though. It's not...
I got a grinder.
It's not
there you
chunked
go.
up.
Yeah.
Unless
we got a
do
heck
big
of a
chunks.
deal.
I know. She's...
Oh, bargain Betty
I
here.
always thought I was a good bargain hunter. I mean, I never buy anything without a coupon, but this one, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of lucked out. There was a few
You got
like God interventions on the way.
Yeah,
up
you
to
got
the
like
register.
90% off. I think.
Yeah, I did.
Pretty much.
Gee whiz.
Went in and it was a $600 grinder from Cabela's. Ended up walking out with it for $109.
I know.
Girl, wow.
Yeah.
Look at
how
her
that
all. Yep,
works.
I know it.
So yeah, it was pretty cool. But you have news too. I mean, I know that not everybody knows you on Facebook. So, and I didn't actually see it on Facebook. So
Right.
go for it.
Well, I am honored to now be a part of the outdoor group, and they're the parent company for Elite Bows.
That's what Megan.
And that's what
also
Megan
shoots
is.
for.
Right.
Cool.
Scott releases CBE sites, so I'm pretty pumped about that. I'm pretty excited and very grateful for it. I mean, like, who am I? And
You're
I got
Julie Griggs.
You're a diva.
I got it. Well,
God.
that's true, I guess. But no, anyway, I'm really excited because I haven't had this much faith and confidence in a bow in a long, long time. And I love the company, and everybody I've dealt with through the outdoor group has been top notch. They're wonderful people. And so
it's good to
I'm
stand
so
behind
happy
something
to be.
you really, really, truly believe
Yes.
in. Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Some
and
good
I
news.
just to kind of give kudos to Elite. I mean, this bow had no struggle getting good penetration at 45 pounds is what I shoot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can believe it.
So,
it's a good product, and just some of the things that they're doing within the company is just, I think it's just cool. They're very, I think, customer focused, and that's just like they're waiting until the ATA show to release their 2017 bows, and the reasoning behind it makes perfect sense. So they're really being thoughtful and strategic with what they're doing to make it better for the consumer.
When is the ATA show?
It is in January. It'll be, I think, it's within that first full week.
Do you have any
in
plans
January.
on going to that this year, or are you doing the Vegas instead?
Yeah, we're doing Vegas instead. We're not going to go to the ATA show this year.
Okay.
Yep.
Just wondering.
Yeah. Oh, but speaking of tournaments, though, Cole Dunsing put on Facebook earlier that the Midwest
Saw that was sold
Open
out.
is full. All the lines
They
are
only had
full.
like 28 openings as of yesterday, is what I heard.
Today.
it's full
The thing I
as of
saw
today.
said it was completely full.
That's amazing. I love seeing that so many people are coming out to
coming out
to
the closet,
coming
Dang it, I wanted
out
to
to shoot a
go.
bow. Yeah. So anyway, but
not coming out in other ways.
no, I didn't mean it that way.
Well, I don't know if that's where you would come out.
I mean, but if you want to, kudos to you. I mean, that's not a problem on my end, but
Nope.
yeah.
I don't. Are there gender specific bathrooms there? I don't know.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, I don't know.
Well,
if you go to an ASA, they're definitely not gender specific.
No, they're not.
potty on a spot.
Yeah. You go do a tree squat somewhere or hit the porta potty and hold your breath.
Somehow, when
I
I find Vince on the range, I'm usually finding him behind a target.
Yeah, you
Porta
always,
potties make me so mad. The urinal is, to me, right in
your face when you're trying to hover.
And someone that has long hair that has found a strand into the tube gets real pissy when she walks out. Let me tell you.
Gross.
Right?
Oh, nasty.
Right. God, it's so annoying.
Yes, because I don't sit. I mean, I'm sure no one does. I hover, but then my face is like right there. So I'm like turning my face away from it.
But then your hair.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And I look over and I'm like, no. I mean, it's like
you just have a scissor and cut that hair off.
Yeah, just shove
it gets
on
sacrificed.
Mine's always pulled back in a ponytail, so I don't have to worry about that. But it's like a couple of inches from your face, and you're like, oh my God.
I know, right?
Yes.
Why can't they
terrible?
Be in a hole next to the big hole? I mean, why does it have to be there?
Right. I don't know.
God.
It's weird and it's gross.
I'm gonna write in.
You should do that.
They are not women friendly.
No, not at all.
No.
Nothing about the whole deal. Because some big old guy went in there and
we don't want to know.
laid an island that he flagged.
A pillar.
Or a pillar, whatever. Could have been hard that day. You don't go for like 7 hours. That's what happens.
Are you speaking from experience?
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh man. Okay, we have gone downhill.
Yes, we have. We better
beyond
stop while
rock
we're
bottom.
Oh.
All right.
All right.
At least there's something useful. The mental game came out of this podcast.
That's right.
The rest of it did.
Went to the potty.
Went to the potty. You need your own mental game to go into a porta potty.
Yes, you do. That's a whole separate book to read.
All right, I'm closing this down.
All right.
Okay, if you want to find us, go to Facebook on www.facebook.facebook.bodiva, whatever. I'm sure there's a bunch of little HTT, whatever.
Right. Something like that.
Wait, no. Go to Facebook. That's more like it. What?
Hold on. We forgot to announce our costume.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So we need to do that.
So we're not totally downhill.
Okay,
No.
so everybody,
We are forgetful,
I hope
though.
everybody saw our Facebook posts of, we had about 4 women post their archery costumes.
Yes.
And we have decided on
Christina Jones.
Yay!
as the T-Rex.
She was the
archer.
T-Rex.
Right.
How
Did she
about
actually shoot with that costume on?
I think so. She was shooting one of the recurves, probably a low poundage or something, because I know she has some.
I was going to
issues
say, I
in
thought
her
I
arm.
saw some pictures where she was at full drive. I'm like, how the heck is she
I know.
shooting with that costume
how,
on?
How'd she get that mouth tab in that dinosaur's mouth? That's what I kept thinking too.
And Christina, we tell you what you won, but it's been so long and we forgot. We don't know.
We'll figure out something.
We'll
Probably
send you
a cup,
something.
Yeah. We'll get you something. Whatever you want, you tell us.
And the 10,000 downloads wins the crocheted hat, right? The little Target face
Yes.
hat.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
And we are like 10 downloads away from 10,000.
Oh, once this comes out,
once
we'll
this
be
comes
over.
out,
so-
we'll have
Yeah, but
How are we
it's
doing
pretty
that?
exciting anyway.
I don't know. We're going to figure out.
I don't
what
know.
to
Don't
do.
we just kind of make it up as we go?
Yeah, that's usually our game plan.
Right. So we'll
Which
figure it
isn't-
out next time.
We have no game plan. It's on the fly.
Yeah.
Mhm. So anyway, but we're pretty excited. Thank you guys for downloading us and listening to us. We do appreciate that very much.
Yeah.
And this is why we do it, because we love what we do. We're passionate about archery, but we really want to bring other people's stories and sometimes our own stories to everyone else, and we can't do that without you. So thank you guys.
Right. 10,000 people wanted to listen to us, and our husbands won't listen to us.
No,
anymore.
Or we have one stalker who just downloaded it 10,000
hey,
times.
whatever it takes. Man.
Kevin McGrath.
Hey, I like him. Keep on
He's probably
going, buddy.
5,000. He needs to download a lot more. We got to hit 20 now.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
So
our
Kevin,
next-
you better get on it.
Yeah.
They say that about like the serial killers and stuff. They seem so nice and normal. I don't know. I like them.
Poor Kevin.
All right, we should probably peace out of here.
All right.
All right.
Peace out, man.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.